So today I'm going to start working on this field. I'm going to start getting it ready because we're going to plant this in perennial pasture grass here in a few weeks. So the first thing I'm doing, I'm trying to get everything out of the field and out of the way. I don't know if you guys remember this. This was originally going to be our bridge across the pond. We got two of these. These were supposed to be posts inside of a big dairy barn, and they ended up being extra. They're just like a big laminated beam. It's treated lumber. And I still think I can use these for something in the future, but I just need to get them out of the way. So it's got this, cutout area where the roof joist would have sat in it. I'm gonna go ahead and just cut this so it's flat at this end and make it a little shorter, because where I wanna put these, I'm not sure I can fit it through there. It's pretty tight. Whoa, this thing's like a teeter-totter. So the total length was 23.5. We're gonna cut her down to 22. Ooh, that's a red hot saw blade. Oh my goodness. Didn't actually mean to touch it. Yes, I don't have my gloves on. All right, let's see if we can get this one to fit in over on the side of the property where it's out of the way. Hopefully I don't have to move it for a while. But I just moved a 20-foot stick of that big pipe, and this is 22 feet, and that pipe barely fits. So I don't got a good feeling about this. Gotta be able to go over the fence. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Oh, I'm hitting. Try again. Be close. This ain't the bad spot either. Ooh, I hit again. Alright, over the fence post, just barely. And over the side of this fence because it's too close to the road. So here's the part I'm worried about, fitting between the carport and this tree. I actually think I'm going to make it. Got it just a couple inches on each side. I think that'll work. That's better. Got my gloves on this time. All right, I think I've got everything picked up and moved off the field now. Hopefully there's nothing buried in here that I forgot about. But what I want to do now, I've got the brush hog on the back of the tractor. I want to come through, I just want to mow this all down and mulch it up before I plow it. Now I know there'll be different opinions on that, because it could, all that debris could clog up the plow, possibly. I've actually had that happen. And this right here, it's short enough I could just plow right through it with the disc and not have to mow it. So it's like extra work. So this grass up here has been grazed several times, but the far end of the field has never been grazed, and it is 6-7 foot tall. It's almost as tall as the tractor. And everything's going to seed. I just decided I'm just gonna mow it up, mulch it down before it gets even worse. But before I go out there and mow, this brush hog has always had a leaky gearbox. Anytime I put oil in it, it's probably gone by a day or two later. It leaks really bad. And I've had several people through the years, they all tell me to put corn head grease in there. You just can't go find corn head grease at the store. You actually have to go to like a big tractor dealer that sells combines, and then you can find corn head grease. And I actually got some the other day, so we're gonna put some in this. So I ended up buying 2 tubes of corn head grease, and it looks like a normal grease tube to me. You would use it with a grease gun. It looks like normal grease, but apparently it has like a low working temperature, so it will, when it heats up a little bit, it will thin and somewhat get more viscous and not necessarily turn to liquid, but it will be thin enough where it'll move through the gearbox and lubricate everything, but not thin enough where it's just dripping out of the seal. So I might have to use a grease gun to put both of these tubes in the gearbox. It would be nice if there was like a grease fitting on the gearbox to make this easier. And I've come up with a way that I think we can like add a grease fitting fairly easy. So on this gearbox, you've got 2 entry points. There's a vent on the top. I normally take this out to put in oil. And then there, right here on the side, there is a pipe plug, 3/8 pipe plug. And then normally you fill up the oil to that level. And this is the biggest grease fitting that I have. It's 1/8" pipe thread. So as long as I can find something to go from 1/8" pipe to 3/8" pipe, I can put it together and then be able to pump grease into the gearbox. So I went and looked through my fittings for my air compressor because they're normally small pipe like this. So I don't have a 3/8 to 1/8, but I have a 3/8 to 1/4 and then a 1/4 to 1/8. So put these together. I'm glad I had all these pieces to be able to make this, but I get this all tightened up and now I can pump grease into that gearbox. Now we'll start pumping it in. Probably take me a couple minutes, maybe half hour. I know a lot of people have told me I need to get an electric grease gun. And I've kind of blown that off because in the past, I just did this on the weekends. But man, I've been doing so much of this lately. It seems like I use a grease gun every day now. So I definitely see probably buying a battery powered one here in the future. Ah, finally, empty. All right, I just finished up the grease box. I guess it's a grease box now. It's full of grease. And a lot of times I get comments from people, like suggestions. When it's only from like one person, you kind of ignore it. But when it's like from 4 or 5 people, there's something to it. And I bet you I've had maybe 25, 30 people suggest putting corn head grease in a leaky gearbox. So there's definitely has to be something to it. So let's head out to the field, get that all mowed down, and we'll test this out. Well, I've been mowing for a while and I needed to put fuel on the tractor anyway, but it just overheated. So I need to get the hood opened up. We're gonna try to blow out all the dust. Everything I've been doing is dusty lately, so probably the radiator just needs cleaned. Yeah, you can tell. Look at the dirt on there. And of course that other screen, it's really dirty as well. All that stuff I'm trying to mow down, a lot of it has, I don't know if it's seeds or pollen or what, but man, it is dusty. It's got a lot of stuff floating through the air and it's plugging the radiator up real quick. Well, right now that engine is so hot, I think I'm just gonna try to blow them off without taking out the screens. Well, some people may disagree with that method, but at least I'm not burning my hands trying to get the screens out of there, and I'm not standing under a loader. Look at my seat. See, that's all the dust that's flying around out here. Well, the engine's not overheated anymore, and I've got cold air coming out of the air conditioner. I could tell that it was plugging off. You know that when you start losing that air conditioner, it's just not quite as cold. You can tell that it's slowly getting that screen dirty on the radiator. Because this very front screen right here, that is for the air conditioner, and most of what's going to get dirty is going to hit this front screen first, and you can kind of feel the effects on the air conditioner. You know you're needing to clean this out. And needless to say, I could tell the difference with the air conditioner, and I was already thinking I need to clean the radiator, and it wasn't a few minutes later I overheated. Well, I think I ended up doing about 3 laps around mowing and it overheated again. If you look at the screens, you can see that screen is completely covered again. And after I thought about it, I mean, it's obviously like weed seeds and grass seed or whatever's all going to seed out there. It's just getting pulled right in. And this is just really because I let it go way too long. You know, I mean, it's kind of my own fault. So one other thing I might mention is that it is heated back up this week. We've actually had fairly nice weather the last couple weeks, and it is back up into the 90s. So it's like about 95 today. Feels like it's 100 or a little over 100. So it's a hot day out there as well. So just notice I got a hydraulic leak, man. This isn't my day. Can you see all of the, you know, debris and stuff stuck to these hoses? So it's dripping up under the third function valve. It has one of these plugs up in the bottom and it's leaking. Oh yeah, I mean I got a good half a turn on that. That seemed to fix it. So I'm gonna go try one more time to see if I can mow the rest of this field. If it does it again, I think I'll just wait. I'll come back out here in the morning when it's cooler. Rebecca just got home from work and we just overheated for the 3rd time, so I think I am done mowing. Well, the tractor's cooled down and I can tell, you know, after I blew it off, this screen is clean. You can see through it, it's clean. And when I look at this, the top of it, this screen looks clean, but as I look in the side, you probably won't be able to see it, but it is packed right there in the middle. Oh yeah, look at all that. Morning, chickens. Hey buddy, how you doing, sausage? Let me move your feeder. Oh, you guys got plenty of food. I think I'm overfeeding you. Morning, biscuit. A fly on your back. Sorry. It was a big horse fly. Believe me, you'll thank me if you knew what I was doing. Well, apparently our pig water has a leak and the pigs have made a whole new wallow out of it. Well, it's wet down this side. I assume it's leaking somewhere there, but... Oh, wait a minute. Nope, it's actually overflowing out of the top right here, so it must be completely full. Our float valve, oh. Obviously the float valve is not shutting off completely. That's why. She's pressured up. So I'm just gonna go back to plan B on their water tank, and that is to just turn the water on and off every day for 20 minutes and allow this to fill back up. That way it's not sitting with the hose under pressure and with the valve under pressure. And we'll just go back to that for now. I think I'm gonna end up replacing it with a different shut-off valve setup where I can actually get to it instead of having to like try to open up the tank and get inside. So I think I'll end up changing this in the future. Morning, turkeys. How are you guys today? You guys are getting big. All right, time to move. Time to move. Look out. Thought I'd show you how tall this corn is. It's higher than what I can reach. It's probably at least a couple feet higher. So I think that chicken manure we put on the corn ended up working pretty good. All right, it's 8 in the morning. I'm gonna come back out here. I'm gonna try to mow this. I was looking for dew on the grass, and up here at the top where the seed heads are, I'm not really seeing any moisture, so this may not be much better than it was last night, but at least I know that we've got the radiator completely cleaned out this time. I really think about 4 laps around this and we'll be done. All right, I've got the field all mowed down now, and as soon as we cut and bale the sorghum Sudan, then we can start plowing this field and start working it up so that we can actually plant this in cool season perennial pasture. This is all like warm season grass and weeds and stuff that just came up naturally. I didn't plant any of this. This is just what naturally came up. And it's not what we want in our pasture, you know, long term. So the tractor did overheat on me again 2 times this morning, and each time in between this screen right here on this radiator and this other radiator, it would be packed in here completely full, about like that thick, full of those fluffy seeds. And that's 100% my fault for letting all of that grow for so long and go to seed like that. I've only had this tractor overheat on me 3 times in 3.5 years. And then trying to mow this field, I think it happened 5 or 6 times. And that's all because of the seeds and that I just waited way too long to mow it. I mean, so it's all my fault. I definitely paid for it. It may have taken a lot longer, but at least the field's mowed now. And the brush hog here, I can't tell that it's leaking anything with that corn head grease in there. I put 2 tubes in there. I figure each one's probably close to a quart a piece. So I put like, I guess the equivalent of 2 quarts in there. So is that enough? I've had people say that they fill them full of grease. And you mean like to the top? I mean, how much do people normally put in here? So do I need to add more tubes of grease to that, or was the 2 enough? I'm not 100% sure. I got a feeling that I might want to add at least 1 more tube in there just to get it the level of grease a little higher up. But anyway, it seemed to work for now. We'll, you know, I can't tell that it's actually leaking, so that's a good thing. Well, guys, I think that's it for this video. The rubber sheeting that I ordered for the hay mower, I think it's supposed to arrive today. So hopefully tomorrow I can start making modifications to that, and then I can get back out there making silage bales. But hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.